All right, today we're doing a little bit of a public service, which is dispelling the oxymoron that is the educated bass player. So we're going to take this Journey Instruments beautiful emerald green bass, which is the official bass of the Emeryld Ryders, my Celtic band, which I'm going to link you to below because I'm really going all out on the promotion of this. And we're talking about how you can use music theory, real simple music theory, to help you write bass lines. You could use this same kind of idea as far as like maybe writing lines on a guitar and pitching it down, or doing it on a keyboard. We're just talking about kind of different modes of the major scale and how you can use them as numbers to write a bass line. So again, we're doing this on this awesome carbon fiber Journey Instruments guitar. This actually folds down into a backpack, but I kind of wanted to showcase it because it sounds so good, and it's the official emerald color of the Emeryld Ryders. So we're gonna do this in the people's key of G. All right. So I'm gonna loop a G major just guitar loop, but before we do that, we need to know what notes we have available. We're gonna do it all in one position right here. How about that? The G major scale. Who could have saw that coming? Ridiculous, right? So let's look at it real quick. The low E string gets the 3rd fret and the 5th fret. The A string gets the 2nd fret, 3rd fret, and the 5th fret. D string gets the 2nd fret, the 4th fret, and the 5th fret. 3, 5, 2, 3, 5, 2, 4, 5. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. Okay? Really important knowing all that, and then being able to turn that into a number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this can be done in any key. We just move that whole shape to an A. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We could do it B. All this stuff is movable. The open strings aren't even going to help us at all for the entirety of this exercise, this lesson. And it's all about just kind of choosing which mode you want. Anytime you see a major chord on bass, or in any kind of song, there's 3 different types of modes that you can use to create bass lines or bass riffs out of. We just learned one, the major scale mode. Fancy people call that the Ionian mode. Impress your friends. Now, it's really easy to remember the other two, as long as we know that these are numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. My favorite mode is just making one small adjustment. You take that 4th note, 1, 2, 3, 4, and sharpen it, which means now we have the 4th fret on the A string in the key of G. 3, 5, 2, 4, 5, 2, 4, 5. The great thing about this is you have this kind of symmetry of these back-to-back A and D string, 2, 4, 5, 2, 4, 5. All right. So this is the major scale with a sharp 4. The other name for this would be the Lydian mode. Okay, you're gonna find this on the 4th degree in any key. All right, but we're staying with G right here. We'll talk about more of that in a second. The other one that's really, really common is that we're just gonna take that major scale again. Take the 7th note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're gonna flatten it. Okay, this is gonna be a flat 7, otherwise known as a minor 7, because you'll see this in minor chords. It's really easy here. Another symmetrical shape. 3, 5, 2, 3, 5, 2, 3, 5. Great thing about that is you can just rip this off. 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5. Very kind of pentatonic vibe if you want to do just those notes. But really, we've got root note, the 2nd note in the key, what's called the major 3rd. The important thing is those first 3 notes are the same across all 3 modes, all 3 scales, however you want to look at it, right? All of them are going to share these. That 4th note is going to be the same in 2 of them. Again, in the Lydian, it's going to be sharp. And then the only other alteration is the flat 7. Okay, so we have 3 modes. It's good to be able to do these back to back. Major, Lydian, Mixolydian is the name of this one. Now, it's all well and good to be able to play them, but let's hear what they sound like. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to loop just a G major chord, just kind of back and forth, all right? So I've got another Emeryld guitar, the D'Angelico official guitar of the Emeryld Ryders Celtic band. Awesome concept album. Oh, how does he do it? How does he make so much great music? We're just going to loop a super simple, just G major thing. Okay, so we've got this loop going. Now, bring the Emeryld bass in. It can be something as simple as just hitting root note. Keep it super simple. Add that in the 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But we haven't used any of the different modes yet. So we can easily start doing something in Lydian where we take that sharp 4 and emphasize it. So that right there is just kind of like, I'm kind of going overboard, just kind of proving a point that sharp 4 makes a different sound than just a regular kind of major scale. Major, that was just regular major. Get that Lydian sound. Next thing we can do is maybe take the other one, the flat 7, and do one of my favorite cool bass lines, like a almost kind of like a minor sounding thing, but over this G major chord. That right there, that flat 7 really kind of stands out, and that's what makes that mode special. Now, the really cool thing about when you're playing with a very simple accompaniment, you can really spread your wings on bass. So I can go back and forth and really switch in and out of all of these 3 modes over a major chord, because the thing about that major chord in the guitar track, it's a triad. It only has 3 notes from that scale. In fact, it's the first note, the third note, and the 5th note. A G, a B, and a D. So anything else that I want to use to kind of dress up that chord on a bass, I'm totally within my rights, even if I switch and kind of change keys while I'm doing it. So I'll start just with a regular triad. 1, 3, 5, 1, 1, 5, 1, 5. Then I can go into like the Lydian thing. Major. Back to Lydian. Mixo. Major. Okay, so that was just kind of playing around over one chord, really incorporating all of these notes, the regular G, major G, A, B, C, C sharp, that sharp 4, D. So if you want to look at incorporating all 3 of the modes, it's almost like having 9 different notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and back again. Now, when in a denser arrangement of other instruments, or if a guitar player is playing extended chords or something, you could get in trouble thinking of that. In fact, the modes are specifically supposed to go on certain chords in a progression, okay? So the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to make a more common progression that kind of sticks out a little bit more, where we're going to take, maybe we'll start with a G major, like, and then go to D major to C major and back to G, okay? So I'll start in G to D, super simple, to C major, back to G, and then loop, right? So we'll loop it like there. There's the D chord. You can just track the root note with the bass. C, G. Now a lot of time your job as a bass player is just to do this. Depending on what the drummer is doing, you might want to match this note with the kick drum. Just root note. A root and a 5 to the D. To the C chord, and it's 5. Back to G. Okay? Now, the interesting thing about this is, so now we can start adding those modes in particular places. So in this progression, G is the 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, C is the 4, D is the 5, all major chords in a key. Over that G major chord, it would make most sense to use the G major mode, the G Ionian mode. Over that C chord, since C is the 4th one, that is where the Lydian mode occurs. So whenever we get to that C, I'm going to take that same shape we used, but I'm going to start it on a C note, the 3rd fret on the A string, 3, 5, 2, 4, 5, 2, 4, 5, just like we did in G before, but now we're rooting on a different note. All this stuff is movable. Great thing about having a 4-string bass is you don't have to worry, compensate for like the B string like you do on a guitar. Everything this is movable both ways, horizontally or vertically. And then for D, that is where that Mixolydian one is going to kind of pop up, right? So now I'll start playing modally, as it were, to make bass lines out of this music theory. So we'll start with the G. Mixolydian C. Sharp 4, back to G. G, running through the major scale. D. Mixolydian C. Back to G. I can just kind of hang on it and then do a little run to the major scale. There's that special note in C and G. Kind of busy for a bass line. So you'll notice that every time I get to the chord that I'm looking for, I can kind of just explore this really, really easy mode shape. Every time I'm on that D major chord, in the key of G, I can emphasize that special note that we have, that flat 7. I kind of want to avoid this note. Now, I can play this note like we did before when we played the G, when we played all the different notes over. But here, listen to this. So now when I play that, to the D, doesn't really fit as well, right? So even though I can change each chord and pair whatever mode I want within that chord, kind of coming off a different chord in the same key, a lot of times changing to a different mode isn't necessarily going to sound good, but again, that's up to you. It's up to your own taste. It's really just kind of giving you the tools and seeing how this works, where I have 3 different modes. I can play them all off the same root note, G major, G Lydian, sharp 4, G Mixolydian. Or I can do them within the context of a bigger overarching key, G major, C Lydian, D Mixolydian, back to G. In fact, if you notice the way these link together, that's why it's a really great way just to learn the fretboard, whether you're playing bass, guitar, or anything. We have the G major scale. Now we know that C is a note there. You'll notice that when I get to the C, G, A, B, C, I can start that same mode, just starting on a C, Lydian, and extend the scale. So, at first it might be kind of complicated and be like, what is this guy talking about? Like, jumping around, what is he even doing? But it's really focusing on what's special about the particular part of the fretboard that you're in, what you might want to use to emphasize the chord that you're on, whether it's a 1 chord, a 4 chord, a 5 chord. So these are just the major modes in a key. If you guys are interested in stuff like this, I can do the minor modes, I can do more stuff like this. I just think that learning mode hand shape positions is such a valuable thing to kind of come up and quickly be able to play over anything. That's why some of the greatest players out there, I remember my mind was blown. Like seeing certain players just sit in with a band, play on a song they've never even heard before, but just kind of like know the outline of a chord progression and always have something to do. So it's kind of like a way that you can stay as busy or as relaxed as possible, but always know where the options are, whether you're just kind of rooting it out. Root 5. Root octave. Or modally. It's really just kind of like cool stuff, I think, that really makes your playing more fun. Shout out to Journey Instruments for this really cool travel guitar. There's going to be more videos of this. And again, check out the Emeryld Ryders. If you have any questions or comments, hit me up on Instagram, Twitter, or the website. I'll talk to you all soon. Thanks a lot.